What do you say when someone tells you they want to list their boat privately?
So I think when people want to list or suggest to list their boat privately, to be honest, for some people that can work for the right boat and the right person and the right price. But more often than not, people do underestimate the work that's involved and what brokers put into the process. The biggest sort of underestimation points is certainly the time involved. There's a lot of man hours that go into closing a deal from the shoot all the way through to closing, and then post-closing the handover and the value add. Another thing is the lead source. A lot of people tend to think that you put an ad on boat sales and you wait for that inquiry to come through and your phone pings off and that's the person that's going to buy your boat. But in actual fact, in the last 10, 11 weeks, we've sold 13 boats and only one of those came from boat sales. So the lead source is something that's also very underestimated. The other one is the negotiation side of things. So we, as brokers, we're forever negotiating. So there's always an offer on the table and there's back and forth, and we do it all day, every day. Whilst a lot of boat owners are negotiators in whatever they do for work, what they don't find is that actual information about the industry adds a lot of value to that negotiation. The other one is that level of reputation that we as brokers have to uphold. So a buyer actually feels better that they're dealing with a professional that has a reputation to uphold, has a trust account that the deposit's going to be held in, has a Boating Industry Association contract that's going to be holding it all together. And that level of trust in the negotiation and therefore the transaction adds value to the deal in the first instance. The other one is the value add post-sale. So we do handovers, we do training, we help them with shipping, we help them with repairs after survey. That's all information that most private sellers wouldn't, or value add that most private sellers wouldn't necessarily add. And again, once a buyer's aware of that through the sales process, that tends to add value to the deal. And then the big one that we found in this market is the cross-selling and the multiple brokers. So we've got 12 brokers on the East Coast and overseas. Most of our deals are coming from clients that trust us finding the right boat. So if you're just a private seller or even just a sole broker, you don't have that, the 50 or 60 listings that you can be cross-selling and getting leads from, but also the dozen or so brokers to be able to, bounce ideas off and put people in the right boats. So they're 5 key things that a private seller wouldn't get out of a broker, but not saying that it's not an option for some boats and some sellers.